Good morning, everyone. Thank you for inviting me again to your homes. Today, I'm going to show you the recipe for Persian flatbread or for baguette. It's the same. It's the same recipe, only you can change the shape and make it the way you want. I'm doing this because of one of my viewers with the name of Matthew W. He was requesting to find out how I was making my Barbari bread in one of my previous videos I have taken in my backyard. Anyway, there is no science to it. The only thing you need are only 4 ingredients for making the dough. It is salt, yeast, flour, and water. I will write the recipe for you on a card. You can see it on the video, the ratio, what we do, how much you have from each one of these. My ratio to this dough is 2 pounds of flour, 1 pound 6 ounces of water, 0.75 ounce of yeast, and ounce of salt. And the temperature of the water should be a little bit warmer than your body. Basically, our body temperature is 97, and that can be about 100, 101. You should not have your temperature hotter than that because, as you know, yeast is a live ingredient, and if you put it in a hot water, it is going to die. Or if you put it in a colder water, basically it is not going to activate as fast. I put my yeast in the water. You should not mix your salt in the water with your yeast. If you mix your salt in your yeast, in the water, basically that is going to kill your yeast, and it is not going to be activated at all. Now eventually we're going to mix the dough in our water. By the way, I have a small dough mixer. I could use that to mix the dough, but not many people, they have the dough mixer at home. That's why I decided to do it by hand. It's going to take a little longer, but going to be suitable for everybody. Everybody going to like it, and everybody can make it. And you will notice you do not really have to have a mixer to do that. Now I'm going to mix my salt with the dough. It's a safe time now to mix it. So far is about 4 minutes. I have been mixing this dough, and the dough is getting ready. You can see the way it is. It's a little sticky. The dough going to be quite nice and wet. As I said, you notice the dough has cleaned a little bit the side of the bowl, and the bowl is clean. Almost. It is not clean the way you think, but it has taken almost all the flour. And it's done. Now I'm going to let the dough rest for about half an hour. And after half an hour, I will show you how the dough raised. You cover your dough and come back in about 30 minutes. You see the dough has raised. Again, I'm going to mix it, and again let it raise for another half an hour. And by doing that, you can make sure that all the flour has not been mixed with water in your dough. It is going to be mixed nicely, and you're not going to get lumps in on the middle of your bread. Thank you. It's about half an hour. I have let the dough rest, and we're going to knead the dough in a second. You see, I mean, it has raised a little bit. I'm going to put a small amount of flour on it, and I'm going to dip my fingers in flour as well, so it is not going to stuck. The flour won't stuck to my hand. What I do, I'm going to knead the dough. As you see, the dough look good. Doesn't have any lumps in it, but I'm going to leave it for another half an hour so the dough gets a little bit sour, like become a sourdough, and also produce a little bit more alcohol so I can bring the color into golden brown. And the time I'm ready to bake, I have to preheat the oven to about 500 degrees, between 450 to 500 Fahrenheit, and takes only about 5 to 10 minutes for the bread to be baked. And you can use any kind of oven at home. You have a gas oven, definitely. You have an electric oven, definitely. You can use any kind of oven and make. And the beauty of this bread is you can decide how much salt you want to put in it, or when you want to bake it. And if you let it outside, let it rest for a little bit longer time, obviously you're going to have more sourdough. Or if you take part of this dough and store it in your fridge for 6 months, 8 months, and use it forever, and anytime you want to have a sourdough base, you can add more water to it and more flour, mix it and leave it, and that is going to be your sourdough, and can be stored for many years, And I'm going to come back in half an hour again, show you how the dough is. It's about an hour since I started the dough for bread. It has raised quite a bit, and it is ready. As you see, look, it does look perfect. I'm going to take it out of the bowl, and I'm going to knead that on the counter for baguette. I'm going to do it like 9 ounces, and you can see how beautifully has raised all the bubbles on the middle. Perfect. I'm going to cut them to 10 ounces of dough, and that is going to be quite efficient for baguette. That is going to be three baguettes, and the rest I'm going to do Persian flatbread or Barbari bread. By the way, the origin of Barbari bread is from Afghanistan, but it is extremely popular in Iran. I remember when I was a kid, I used to go to the baker every day, a couple of times in the bakery, and buy breads, buying Barbari or buy Sangag or some other ones. And definitely when we were buying a Barbari, by the time I was getting home with one of my friends, we would finish one of the breads, and it was nice. And there is nothing tastier, there is nothing nicer than fresh, warm bread. We have 3 flatbreads and 3 baguette. Definitely I would like to put a little more flour so they are not going to be as sticky as much. I spray the pan with a small amount of oil, spray pan oil. I place them on the pan. I'm going to show you another trick how to make your bread look shiny and glossy and nice. 2 teaspoons of dry yeast, and you mix some water with that, and you brush your dough with this solution with yeast and water. Next step, after you have brushed your bread with that, you have to cut it. Don't go all the way down. On each bread I put 4 cuts. I'm going to start on my Persian flatbread. As you see, I roll the bread, put some flour so it's not going to be sticky. Flattening it the way I did. And if you have got a rolling pin, use your rolling pin. Make it a little bit longer and bigger. With your finger, put some lines on it like this. Push it down. Don't worry, you're not going to cut it. I put the hole, but there won't be any issue. You grab your tray, put it on the tray. Brush it with the solution of yeast and water. Mixture of seeds I've got is black and white sesame seeds with a small amount of fennel seeds. I'm going to let them rest for about 10 to 15 minutes, and after that time I'm going to put them in the oven. Going to take few minutes to be baked. It's about 10-15 minutes since I let the dough rest. As you see, it has raised quite nice, and I have preheated the oven to 500 degrees, and now it is the baking time. I start from my baguette. I put the baguette inside, and I put these 2 inside. It's the time to swap the trays and put the top one on the bottom and the bottom one on top. As you see, it has been baked nicely. Now I'm going to put the flatbread on the top, and the baguette going to go underneath. Okay, I have been baking the breads for about 15 minutes, and seems like my breads are ready. Wow. They look perfect. And they are nice. You see how they are? And now we got 3 baguettes and 3 Persian style flatbread or Barbari. And they are my breads. That's the bread. And it is hot. When you are handling it, please be careful. I have lost the sensitivity in my fingers. That's why I can pick them up without anything. And that's it. My bread is ready. my God, nothing better. I could not resist not to eating that piece. It is extremely nice. Again, I would like to thank you for inviting me to your homes to show you how to make your favorite dish in the world, bread, and how to eat it. And why I say the bread is your favorite dish is anybody's favorite, because bread is the only thing after you touch and you eat, you never clean or wash your hands just because you have touched a bread. Everything else, yes. The bread is the only thing you never do. That is why bread is the favorite thing for everybody in the world. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to join us on our Facebook page. And that is, as you see, My Simple Dinner at Facebook, basically. And also subscribe to our channel and give us a thumbs up, bottom of this video. Thank you.